Am I the asshole for not moving my wedding date? My fiance and I recently got engaged, and when looking at dates, we realized our anniversary falls on a Saturday this year. Perfect, right? We immediately start planning because it's approximately 9 months out and we have to move quick to pull together a wedding. We told everyone the potential date this weekend and all seemed well. Monday, I get a phone call from my father. He insists that I move the date because my mother has a yoga retreat that weekend. I tell him that this date means a lot and I would prefer to keep it if there is any way to move the retreat. There is, but it's expensive. I offer to pay for this change out of my wedding budget, essentially halving the amount that I can spend on the most important event of my life. Damn, how much is this yoga retreat?
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was told that they would not be taking my offer to pay to move the retreat and that we're expected to move the wedding instead. I haven't put money on my venue yet, so they think I should be fine with giving up the chance to marry on a date that means a lot to me. It became a massive fight, and now my parents and I aren't speaking. My father accused me of caring about a date more than I care about my mother. I told him that it felt as though they were choosing yoga over their own daughter.
Does kind of feel like that.
Wow. Yeah, it's almost like if your parents booked a vacation and then you were like, I'm going to get married on this date. Should they cancel the vacation?
Yeah, and I feel like the yoga retreat, like, is it like that? It needs to be this day.
Yeah. And if it's 9 months away, like, I feel like that gives you a lot of time to, like, replan. But then also, is the daughter, like, entitled to think that everyone should change their plans to come to something for me?
And they're very clearly planning this very far ahead, the yoga.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, and I feel like typically people do have a lot of notice for weddings.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, yeah, it's interesting that their yoga retreat is that far ahead. That's a long time to plan a trip like that.
Yeah, it seems like it must be very involved.
Yeah, very important to them.
And like to be cutting their wedding budget in half, like it's worthy of a lot of money. I don't know though.
That's hard.
It's hard for me to think about because like I don't think that and again, I got to remove myself from this. Like, I don't think I'd give a shit about the date. I'm like, okay. Like, at the end of the day, like, you're spending the rest of your life together, like, one day.
That's true.
Does it really have to be that date? But, I don't know.
I had friends that were trying to do the same thing. They had dated for a long time, and then their dating anniversary fell on a Saturday, and they were like, oh my God. But then it didn't work out. I forget the reason, and they got over it so quickly. They were like, it would have been nice, but like, it doesn't really matter.
Right, like at the end of the day, is it like, but again, same thing could go about like the yoga retreat. Like,
yeah, totally.
What,
and
are you doing yoga on like gold plates or something?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And it's like, just because it doesn't matter to me, like, I don't know. Last time I was in a relationship, we didn't even have that. Like, we didn't have a day where we were like, oh, it's our anniversary.
Yeah. I know,
I've
but I
never
do
had
know
that.
some people like really like are like stuck on that part, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's your thing.
Yeah. So I guess like it does matter to some people, so I don't want to hate on her for caring about it, but yeah, I do kind of think that it is a little bit rude to expect other people to change their plans. Like, it would be one thing if it was like a friend and they were like, oh, I'm going to a party that day. But like, it's your parents. Like, wouldn't your parents be the first people you ask? Like, if you're really that close with them, you're like, okay, I'm thinking this date. Any conflicts? And then when your parents said, yeah, I do have a conflict, you're just going to assume that they should change it. And if they don't change their conflict, like, they're an asshole.
Right.
I don't know. I think that my parents would change their conflict. Like, I feel like my parents would be like, yeah, that's really fucking annoying, but like, I guess we'll change for you.
Right. It's like the most important day of our daughter's life, like whatever.
And then when they did change, I think they would then forget about the trip and they would forget that it ever happened once you get into like the mindset of planning the wedding.
Right.
So I can see where OP's coming from in asking them that. I don't know. I think they're both being really dramatic.
Yeah, me too. I think like both sides are like, really?
Yeah. I think if my daughter came to me and was like, look, I'm paying for my whole wedding. I don't have that much money to spend on it. If you really want me to cover the cost of you skipping the trip, I will. But this is what's happening. I would be like, okay, fine. It's going to annoy me for a week and then I'll get over it. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's a yoga retreat. Is it really a once in a lifetime thing?
Yeah. And I'm like, is the mom planning the yoga retreat? Like, is she running it?
Oh. I don't know. I feel like they
Like,
would have
that's
said
the part
that.
that I
Like, if
don't
that was
get.
their business, I feel like they would have said
And girl,
that.
if you're like that worried about the money for this yoga retreat, you're probably getting full on scammed by this
Yeah.
yoga person. Like, if it's costing
Yeah.
that much, that it's half the wedding budget.
Half the wedding budget? Like, weddings
Because
are
even
not
if you're going to do a
cheap.
small wedding,
It's
a
still
small
30,000.
wedding, but yeah, not even like, even if you're going to do like a backyard wedding, that's like not, you know, like it's
Yeah.
at least 10 grand. Like, you're
Yeah.
at least 10 grand.
I would
And
think
that
that's
is, like,
more.
yeah,
even
like
for a
15,
backyard
20.
wedding.
Yeah. That's
Weddings
what I mean.
are
Like,
so expensive.
so that's why I'm wondering if like the mom was planning this retreat and it was like making money off of planning the retreat, where she's like, now I have to cancel for these people. I don't know. Any clarifications on that, or?
Top comment is, your parents are prioritizing a yoga retreat over your wedding. They 100% are. Have the wedding without them, not the asshole. You'd think if they did yoga, they'd be more flexible.
Yeah, where's that Zen? Yeah, Zen it, baby. Like, what?
Yeah, I feel like it's a yoga retreat. It's not like it's a once in a lifetime experience where, like, I don't know, where like the planet, like, you know how there was like an eclipse a few years ago? And it's like, it will happen once in 1,000 years or 100 years or something. Like, you can only see the lunar eclipse from like this part of like Morocco, and it will be the only time in your life. And she dreamed her whole life about seeing it. Like, okay. If we're talking like a yoga retreat in Costa Rica, there's 1,000 yoga retreat companies just in Costa Rica, and they have a retreat every day of the year.
Yeah, you know, and if mom is so like steadfast on this, like maybe she needs that.
The
like,
yoga retreat.
Yeah, or maybe she needs some meds. I don't know. Like,
She should probably go on a yoga retreat sooner
like,
than
yeah,
9
like
months.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, maybe pay for her to go on an earlier yoga retreat and just be like, Mom, you need this.
You need it.
Yeah.
Someone said, not the asshole. And the next time your parents invite you to something, tell them namaste at home.
Ooh.
Wow, these people are really hitting with
Ding
the
dong.
good jokes. Someone said, how much is it to move the yoga retreat? Either you are having an incredibly cost-friendly wedding, or that yoga retreat is an absolute scam.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like a timeshare or something.
Yeah. OP said, my budget is pretty small in the first place, which is why I haven't put any money into a venue. I was in talks for a free venue that day. A free venue? Oh my God, then the parents are even more of an asshole.
Yeah, for real.
If she can get a free venue?
Take that free venue.
Yeah, that's worth tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, venue alone.
Yeah. If your mother puts a yoga retreat over your, I feel like I'm saying yoga wrong now. Like, I've said it so many times that I'm like, is that a word?
A yoga?
Yoga retreat? If your mom puts a yoga retreat over your wedding date, then that's on her. It would be different if you decided to get married this weekend, not 9 months out. I get that it's inconvenient and possibly an expensive schedule conflict, but the odds of you getting a date on the calendar that works for everyone is basically zero. That's a great point, too.
That is. At the end of the day, it's your wedding, too.
Yeah. So. I'm already worried about that with friends' weddings, like people booking their wedding on the same day. Because I have 2 friends that are getting married in fall of 2024, and one of them picked the date, and the others are just starting to plan. I'm like, if they get married on the same day, that's just going to be really sad for me.
Yeah, that's hard. I haven't had to like worry about that yet, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're not the asshole.
Nope. Hit it.
Yup.
One more time for good measure.